Good evening. I'm Rose Kuo, the Executive Director of the Film Society of Lincoln Center, and welcome to tonight, the Making Waves, the new Romanian Cinema. We're very excited to be hosting this. My own journey with Romanian Cinema was started about 25 years ago, and it was the first Romanian festival that I attended, the first film curated by none other than Richard Pena in Chicago. And the film was Chain Justice, so it's a bit of symmetry to come full circle and be able to welcome you here tonight. If you've been reading the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal, you'll know that the journey here has been taking a little bit of work. I really want to thank the people who've been working with us, especially Karina Shuto, Wano Radu, and Mikhail Kirilov. And tonight I'm really pleased and honored to welcome our partner in this from the Romanian Film Initiative, Karina. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rose, and I'm really, we are all very excited, and I'm sorry, I'm very emotional. Usually I speak freely, but this time I will use this small paper to read things that I don't want to forget. I'll invite immediately, together with me here, both my colleagues and friends, Oana Radu and Mihai Kirilov, the co-founders of the Romanian Film Initiative, who made this festival possible, together with Scott Foundas and Robert Kohler, who are members of the board of the Making Waves Festival. Please welcome them. So as you probably understood if you read a little bit our brochure of, or the articles in the journals, the Romanian Film Initiative has this aim today to be an independent body helping Romanian and American cinema meet and follow up on a certain number of initiatives that we have developed in this group together with Oana Radu and Mihai Kirilov in the former years. I have to say that this festival has had the immense honor to work with Scott Foundas along these years, and also with Richard Pena. And Scott will introduce to you a little bit the follow-up of this for the coming years in terms of the board. But it is my duty now to thank a certain number of organizations and people who, from a very concrete point of view, made Making Waves possible. First, I want to thank painter Adrian Genie. He is a great artist, and he was the first one to offer one of his paintings and made an immense financial donation to the Romanian Film Initiative that would made possible the incentives of this festival. Second, I want to thank the Trust for Mutual Understanding. Together with another very dear colleague, Jakab Orzsos, who is also the curators of the panel on Hungary during the festival, and who is here together with us. He didn't want to come on the scene, even though he was really a critical part of organizing Making Waves this year. So, Jakab, where are you? I want people to see you. Right. And Jakab is today the director of the Pen World Voices Festival, and he used to be the director of the Hungarian Cultural Center. And unfortunately, both of us came to a situation when we became more independent, and maybe for the better. A third person I want to thank the Trust for Mutual Understanding for their immense support and immediate support to the festival. I want to thank producer and director Bobby Păunescu, first of all, for the grant he offered to a film critic. The grant is called Alex Leo Șerban, and the film critic already spent 2 months and a half here in New York because of this generous grant. And Bobby Păunescu also generously participated to the organization of Making Waves. Last but not least, I want to thank the 300 donors from Kickstarters. Around 50 of you that are here in the space have donated on Kickstarter, so please, a great thank you to all of you. And I want to thank the Blue Heron Foundation and Stefania Magison for the generous support, moral support, financial support she offered to the festival. Stefania is also here, and we were very happy to see her. And I want to thank especially artists Dan Perzhovski, Matei Brana, Alexandru Ciubotaru, who have offered their designs, their graphics in order to do badges, the brochure, and really their generosity was immense. Our personal thanks go to Mona Nicoara, Erin Casper, Adam Brown, and Ana Maria Santu for the realization of the Kickstarter's trailer that was amazing and brought us all this money. Very special thanks for Andi Vasluianu for being one of the founders of our association in Romania, and Raluca Gold for helping us with our structure here in the States. Also, I want special thanks to offer to Ambassador Simona Miculescu, to Diana Voiculescu, and last but not least, to the former president of the Romanian Culture Institute, Horia Roman Patapievici, who believed in our craziness, the team's craziness here, 7 years ago, and he accepted that we will organize a festival in New York City, a film festival that will work. Now, I ended with all these thank yous, and I will give the floor to Scott Foundas, who is the member of the board of Making Waves, and who's a very dear collaborator, and he will tell us his story with Romanian cinema. And unfortunately, Scott will now leave, and he will tell us how the board members who will take over will participate in this adventure. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much, Karina, and I'll keep my own personal story of Romanian cinema brief because I think I told it up here last year, and you know, you can YouTube that for if you weren't here last year. But I mean, it certainly doesn't go back as far as Rose's journey, but it really was seeing Cristi Puiu's The Death of Mr. Lazarescu in Cannes in 2005 that, as for so many people, sort of alerted me to an explosion of new talent coming from the Romanian cinema after a long dormant period. And it wasn't long after that that I traveled to Bucharest for the first time to interview Cristi Puiu, and quickly realized there was a lot more going on there, and became very curious about not just the new wave of Romanian filmmakers, but the history of Romanian cinema as well, which is something that this festival continues to put forth, both presentation of the latest new work, but also a chance to see classic films in restored prints with new subtitles, which has very much been a mission of this festival since its inception. It was just about 6 months ago that Corina and Oana and Mihai came to us and told us what was happening in the government in Romania and how it was going to impact the Cultural Institute and their plans to take the festival independent and create what is now the Romanian Film Initiative. And we certainly didn't hesitate for a moment to say, yes, we're on board to do the festival again with you in this new capacity. And it's just remarkable, really, to see how quickly they were able to mobilize everything to pull off the festival basically just as it's always been, albeit without the state support that it's had in the past. And of course, none of that would mean much if there weren't so many remarkable films to show. One of the interesting things about becoming involved in the world of Romanian film in the last few years has been participating in a number of discussions, both here and in Romania, with other critics and programmers and festival directors about the future of Romanian cinema, and is the new wave just a momentary fixation of the world, and will people be as interested in Romanian cinema in the years to come? And I think when you look at this year's program, it's ample evidence that there is another new generation of filmmakers coming up behind the ones that we've come to know in the last few years that is just as ferociously talented, and whose names will soon become as familiar as those of Cristi Puiu and Cristian Mungiu and Corneliu Porumboiu. So it's wonderful to be able to introduce them to the American audience here at the Romanian Film Festival in New York. And without further ado, I now want to turn the stage over to my former colleague when I was a critic at Variety, and my new colleague here at the Film Society, our newly appointed Director of Year-Round Programming, Robert Kohler.
Thanks, Scott. Well, it's great to see everybody here tonight. Chilly night in the city. You're not in any better place to start off what we think is going to be a very exciting week, surveying the latest of what Romanian cinema is offering. It's a cinema that, as you can see from both Rose's and Scott's comments, that the Film Society has been deeply interested in and of itself. And we're very lucky in New York to have the kind of energy from the Romanian cultural side and those who work in Romania. And it's important to know that the folks here, they produce their own festival, major festival in Romania, the Transylvania Film Festival, which Mihai, who I'm about to introduce, heads up. And so in a very real way, New York is getting a very close facsimile of what they see in Romania as new cinema. So that's important to know. I think another important thing to pay attention to this week, one of the dominant qualities of Romanian cinema that has really allowed it, I think, to rise above many other national cinemas in Europe over the past 8 to 10 years is a remarkable fusion of directors with strong signature points of view and an extraordinary generation of actors. I know of no other cinema in Europe that consistently, film by film, even if the filmmaking might go up or down, the acting is always remarkable, has a vitality, has a daring, an audacity, and a strength that is really, I think, it sets a standard for acting anywhere in cinema, anywhere in the world. The combination of the directing, the cinematic intelligence, and the acting strength is, I think, a dominant quality, and I urge you to pay attention to that during the coming week. With that, I'd like to bring on to the mic now Mihai Kirilov, who is a key component of this festival as well as at the Transylvania Film Festival.
Thanks, Bob. Usually I speak too much. I try to keep it very, very short tonight. So I won't recommend the film tonight of Snails and Men, made by my good friend and partner in Cluj, Tudor Giurgiu. You'll see, okay, because I'm a little part of it. You'll see that in the movie. But also because it's a full house, so it no longer needs recommendation. What? You have to look attentively. Don't check your mobile phones because it's just 1 second, so you might miss me. Okay. If I'm to highlight very, very briefly and very, very quickly some of the films and events in the festival, I suggest you to explore the classic dimension of the festival this year, because we have a great retrospective of a cult Romanian filmmaker called Alexandru Tatos. We'll be showing 3 of his films in brand new prints. And also, I suggest you to see also from the classical, on the classical side, a film called Stone Wedding, made 40 years ago. It's actually an anniversary screening. It's a UFO from the 70s, this film. It's a black and white film. I won't tell you more about the films, I promise, but just go and see it. Then I dare you to enter the dark world of filmmaker Radu Jude, who's present this year in the festival with 2 films, The Dark and Cynical World. Again, I won't say anything about the film, just fasten your seatbelts and be there and watch both of them, a film for friends and everybody in our family. Then please be active during our panels within the frame of the special program Creative Freedom Through Cinema, which is a free program of screenings and panels this Saturday and Sunday. Please be here. And of course, last but not least, again, it doesn't need any recommendation, but we have to mention it because it's the most talked about film of the year. You have the chance to see it here 2 months prior to its American release. Of course, we're talking about Cristian Mungiu's Beyond the Hills. I think it's already sold out. I don't know why I still recommend this one, but well, just to have an idea. Thanks.
Thank you, Mihai. And now, before the screening, I want to invite on the scene also one of the godfathers of this festival. I don't know if he likes this title, but this is what he is. In fact, Tudor Giurgiu, the president of the Transylvania International Film Festival, a long-time standing partner, someone that we quarrel a lot with, Mihai and myself, both for different reasons, and who is also the director of the film that you're going to see this evening, a very talented actor that, unfortunately for him, is also a very talented manager and administrator. Tudor Giurgiu.
Hello, thanks for coming. I don't want to say too many things because I think I don't want to spoil your experience, and hopefully it won't be I hope it will be a pleasant one. The film is not too long, so yeah, it will be fine. What to say? It's based on a real story happened in 2002 in Romania, when the workers from actually the only 4x4 car factory in Romania, they were in a very bad situation. The factory was bankrupt. The factory was about to be sold to for $300,000 to some weird American investor, and the guys were in a desperate state, so they decided to. The union leader came up with this idea of donating their sperm as to make some bucks and to buy themselves the factory. Nothing has happened. The factory, as I told you, was sold. In a couple of years, the same businessman sold it for 15 or 20 millions of dollars to some different other companies. So actually, it was one of those, let's say, strange privatization stories from the wild communist East. And so nothing happened with their idea. But in 2002, one American business magazine, I think it was called Business Magazine 2.0, declared it the 7th most dumbest business idea in the world. So my scriptwriter just found the story and he thought, why don't we make a film about this? And yeah, I will stop here about the film. We released it in Romania in mid-September. It was very, very successful. I think right now we are #1 in box office for the Romanian films, and also we got, I think, very good critical reviews back home. The film did some international festivals. We got some awards in Warsaw and recently in Spain, in Valladolid, and we are still going to other territories. As Robert told you about great actors in Romania, I'm very, very happy to have here two of the actors from the film, and they are great people, great individuals, and great professionals. And I'm very happy to introduce you, and they are here. And you know, I've seen Monica. So Monica Birladeanu. Monica is living in LA, and she already had some roles in Romanian films besides doing some work here in America. And her main role up to now, before Snails, was in Francesca, the film directed by Bobby Păunescu, who was in Venice. And for me, it was a great opportunity to meet again after, I think, more than 10 years working actually on this film. And I think she's just great. And then Andi Vasluianu. For many of us, he has done many films. I mean, he's young, not so young, but still young, and he did, I think 30 or 40 features, many shorts. He has an extensive experience, and I think he's one of the most solid and strong actors of his generation. So I'm very happy that they are here. Unfortunately, one of the other key member of the cast, Dorel Vișan, one of the legends of Romanian acting, cannot be with us. At 75 years old, he's traveling all over the world. He just returned from Peru, and he told me that tomorrow he's heading to Vietnam and Cambodia. So that's life. Maybe we're gonna do the same when it will be his age. So I'm really wishing you to have a nice screening, and we'll talk after at the party. Thank you.
Thank you, Tudor, and thank you, all of you. I just have a last announcement to make because we do want to continue the Romanian Film Initiative's activities and the festival, and also next year we would like to participate more actively to the Oscar campaign of Romanian cinema. You can still make donations to the Romanian Film Initiative. We already have a donation button on our site, so enter the site of filmetq.org and help Romanian cinema develop its relationship with the United States. Enjoy the screening, and we look forward to see you at the party.